I hope you're having an absolutely phenomenal Thursday. This week has snuck on us very, very quickly. And I'm super excited this morning because we're going to be covering some stuff that's a little bit different. So Diego's on his way. It's going to take him a couple minutes to get logged on. But I wanted to talk about, what we're going to cover today. When about 2 weeks ago, I think Diego and I were talking about, the future of what real estate looks like. And we were having a conversation around, lead generation. And I don't know about you guys, I think everybody is always out there trying to figure out, hey, what are the new ways to lead generate, especially if you've been an avid open house person, if you've been an avid door knocker, if you've been very avid at lead generating on more of a face-to-face or more of an in-person type way, we realize that in the past couple months, things have changed, right? And I would actually throw out that in the past couple years, things have changed, right? Things have changed a lot in terms of there's a lot more opportunity that exists out there, and there's a new way of being. And ever since, I don't know how many of you guys remember AOL and the Roadrunner, right? When we used to get the CDs delivered to, actually, I take that back. The first time it was the floppy disks, right? I don't know who remembers those old floppy disks, and then later the CDs that would get delivered to your home so that we can get on the dial-up internet, right? On the dial-up modems back then. And how big our computers were and how new it was, and how we'd sit there and we'd wait for sometimes 10 minutes while dial-up kicked in so that we could search for something online, right? So that we would be able to have that interaction online. And if someone had told me back then that, hey, one day this big box on our desk would be cut down to the thinness of a small book, and that we would be able to have instant communication, so much so that we could be streaming live on video today, I don't know if I would have believed it back then, and yet here we are, right? And yet this is where we are right now. And so as we kind of get started on that, I think it's just so interesting how much the technology has changed us, right? How much things have changed, and that's affected every single part of our lives. Every business runs off some type of technology now, whether it's how they accept payment, right? I don't know how many of you guys have gone to get your hair done, and instead of ringing you up at the register the way it was in olden time and pulling out your money from your wallet, right? What are we doing? Well, all of a sudden we're Venmoing, or we're Zelling, or we're sending some type of payment directly through our phones, or maybe we're swiping on a square, right? It's technology. We rented movies before at Blockbuster, and I remember those days too. And then all of a sudden we had Netflix and instant streaming on YouTube and all of these additional tools that have come up. So as we get started and we talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of internet lead generation, I wanted to take it back to one of my favorite books that we've covered this year, right? Shift. Shift was written during the last major economic change, the last real estate change. This book was written back in 08, 09. And even then, tactic number 6 said, catch people in your web, internet lead generation. And even then, over 10 years ago, right? Over 10 years ago, they started the chapter saying, you can't expect to meet the challenges of today with yesterday's tools and expect to be in business tomorrow. You can't expect to meet the challenges of today with yesterday's tools and still be in business tomorrow. And back then it said one crucial area you may have to reassess in your internet is your internet strategy, which sits at the crossroads of expense management and lead generation. We cut spending on everything that isn't leading to real financial results, right? We cut spending on everything that isn't leading to real financial results. And then they say this: success on the internet is not just measured in clicks, unique page views, right? Unique visitors. It's measured in one way: appointments to do business, right? It's measured in one way: our appointments to do business. And so I think that's so important, is that the other thing that they said, and this is where we get into a little bit more on the websites, right, is many agents have long operated under the misconception that a website is more about professional branding or validity than it is about lead generation. Our goal is to offer them real estate information in exchange for contact information, right? For contact information. And so there's somebody that's been doing that very, very well. And I wanted us to take us under the hood of his business. Diego, is your audio on?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. So I'm making you a co-host as well. But I wanted to take us under because Diego sent me a screenshot the other day, and at first it was 13 leads and $10 and one appointment, and all of a sudden we were at 30 leads. And so why don't we start a little bit more? Diego, can you give us a little bit more insight? How long have you been in the business? What did your business look like when you kind of first got started? And then we'll get into some of what you're doing now.
Cool. Yeah. Well, hi everyone. I've been in real estate for 3 years, or licensed for about 3 years. I got licensed May 10th, 2017. And prior to that, I did quite a bit of things, but mostly I never worked for like a salary or a hourly job. I've always been entrepreneurial, or I've always liked sales jobs. So I started selling phones, then I did a little bit of mortgages before the crash, and or I was involved in that business for a little bit. And then from there, I opened up cell phone stores because, you know, the economy crashed, nobody had credit. So I went ahead and did like prepaid mobile services, which had a big boom at that time. And then left that business because, you know, I was looking for something more fulfilling. And that's when I landed again in real estate 3 years ago. Well, actually briefed there for about 3 years. I did web development. So HTML, CSS. I actually deployed a whole point of sale software, and I was a co-founder for about 3 years. It's called iWireless. It's currently, you know, I'm currently a partner. It's currently a business that I'm no longer managing, but it's, you know, it was a big experience. And, you know, I found myself not being fulfilled by that job, right? So then I've always been in sales. So I thought, okay, well, I got to get back into what I like to do. So that's when I ended up back in real estate. And when I started real estate, I would say I had a leg up because I have sales experience, and I would say a lot of people who come in this industry don't necessarily have the sales experience or just know the right words to tell people or not to tell people, right? Because we know sales is the right word to say and the right word not to say. So thankfully, I was able to pick up listings right away, and I've done okay. I mean, we're always ourselves, our worst critics, right? But I've mostly done prospecting as far as you know, lead generation, open houses, and other things. I tried Zillow for 6 months. I was spending close to $700. That's right at the beginning of my career, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Quite, you know, there's still a learning curve. So I only got 3 deals out of probably close to 4,000. And now I was telling Monica that I was going to try Command again because I had some failed attempts. I'm not going to lie. I tried the Command Lead Accelerator maybe 6 months ago, and it wasn't really what I was looking for. So I went and did a little bit more research, and everybody knows that the virtual open house is really what people are looking for, right? So I put two and two together. I said, okay, well, I'm going to create a video of a virtual open house, and I'll go ahead and give the video to Monica so she can post it on the link or whatever. And it's like a 3-minute video. I walk you through the house. I say it has wooden floors, newer roof, newer window. Here's the restroom, down the hall's this, right? So it's very generic. I put it together in a couple hours, and I used that video to create this some campaigns, which is what Monica was talking about. And so far, on the campaign that I did, I started 9 days ago, okay? If you want, I can share my screen. Can I share my screen, Monica?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And then I just want to repeat while you're sharing the screen, I want to repeat something there. 3 transactions, right? Realtor.com, or you said, no, Zillow. I'm sorry, Zillow yeah. Lead, right? About $1,300 cost of sale per transaction with that ad spend.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, and it's kind of, when I started doing this, I was just amazed on the results that I've gotten with so little money in this short period of time compared to Zillow. And the quality, the amount of contacts I've made has been so much better than I ever did at Zillow. So let me show you guys. Maybe I'm saying the right things a little bit more than I was in the beginning of my career, but we all need to work on, you know, our skill sets. So I think that the more opportunities, even if you're investing in some leads, the more opportunity you give yourself to actually be in front of people interested, you're going to get better regardless. So if you guys see this, I started this 9 days ago. It ends tomorrow. So in total, I spent, I think, $7.95 cost per imprint, I believe, per 1,000 imprint or something like that. I think that's can you tell me what this is, Monica?
Yeah, that's going to be impressions. So as of right now, what we're seeing here is 3,613
impressions
have seen the ad.
So, but what's this number of $7.95?
That's going to be part of the metric. So you're getting about let's see, you spent $28.73.
It's per 1,000 impressions.
Yeah, that's gonna, yeah, exactly.
Per 1,000 impressions, right?
Per 1,000 impressions.
Yeah, I was thinking. See, so every 1,000 impressions is $7.95, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not that bad. How many flyers can you print out with $7.95? Not very many, right?
Not at all.
Either way, I mean, it's a pretty good deal. Then if you see here, amount of clicks, so 6 cents per click, that's pretty good, right? $4.99. That means this person has seen me, right? Seen my ad. I should continue to market them, right? The same way that they came to me. So that's the way I'm thinking. And then see the 37 leads, so $78 per lead.
78 cents.
78 cents per lead. Wow, that's crazy. So so in total I spent $28 and the budget was $30. So since I got such great results, yesterday I went ahead and just update, right? So this one ends on the 30th, and I put a budget of $100 this time. Just because, I mean, if I can get, let's just say I get 40 leads or anything, if it's 39, I would be fine, 38. Even if I don't get any more leads in this other campaign, I'm completely happy. Now,
so Diego,
let me show you guys something else. So, maybe not. People's numbers. I was trying to show you guys, but the amount of contacts that I've made with these people, it's crazy. Like I've never made this many contacts, and how I've been doing it is pretty easy because Monica was nice enough to share a smart plan, like model, I would call it, right? For Facebook campaigns. And I can show you guys that because I'm sure that she'll share it with you guys as well.
Yep, it should be in the hub, and I've emailed it out so we can definitely share it again.
So if you guys see on here, as soon as I get a lead, there's 3 things I do. Okay, number 1 is I put him in this Facebook campaign, which is which Monica gave me, right? And because it has so many touches, it doesn't allow for phone calls anymore. Because something I found out is that command doesn't allow more than 15 touches per 30 days, okay? So now I had to create an additional campaign, which is the call campaign, okay? So basically, I add them immediately to the Facebook campaign, which has Twilio, which is automatic text messaging. And I bought a custom phone number for that account. So every time that phone number goes out, that text goes out, goes with my a custom number that I own, right? And then I add a call immediately, and then I add them on a monthly neighborhood nurture immediately, right? So they're gonna get a text from me, they're gonna get an email from me, and they're gonna get a call from me, all within, I'm shooting for within the first 24 hours of them getting a lead, right? And then from there, the next day, if I didn't get a hold of them, I keep them on those campaigns. And then once I get a hold of them, then I remove them from the campaign and I add them on a different campaign if I need to, or I just continue to make custom tasks or what you call tasks within command. Right?
Let's pause for a second, Diego. I wanna dig into this a little bit more. So one, Brandy, thank you for breaking that down in the comments right there. Right, 3,883 people saw the ad. Right, that's the impression, which is important because we know that for somebody to kind of start having face recognition, voice recognition, it usually takes about 6 impressions that they've seen you. So irregardless with those people, now we're getting that initial impression, right? 499 people clicked it, right? 499 people actually clicked it at less than, that's 6 cents a click, right? 6 cents a click, meaning that they raised their hand and those are the ones that they considered like driving by the open house, but they didn't actually walk in the open house, right? Those are the ones that did the drive-by in the neighborhood. They looked at the house and they're like, maybe not, right? And 37 people raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested. Here is my contact information. I know we went into that very quickly, but when he clicked into those 37 leads, you had full names, phone numbers, and email addresses. How many times do you have an open house, an actual live open house? You spend 3 to 4 hours at the open house. You're definitely not getting 3,600 people kind of driving by, right? That's not happening. You're not getting those 499 to kind of peek in and want more information. And then 37 that are actually now signing in on your open house log, but giving you all of their information, right? The other thing I want to note on the smart plan here, and I'll share that the smart plan was actually written by the founders of Lab Code Agent. So that's the one that we're using. And then in addition with the call. So I know there's probably some people out there that are saying a couple things, right? Is I saw it and it says call on day 1, and then it has a 1-day delay, and then it has call again, and then it had a 3-day delay, and then it was call again.
2 calls. It had a morning call.
A morning call and
so the next day, and then an evening call on the third day. So I'm trying to call them 3 days in a row.
So
the morning.
times do we say, I don't want to bug them? We're like, I don't want to call because I don't want to bug. And yet what we're seeing is, so of the 37, Diego, about how many would you say you've gotten some type of two-way conversation going? Either they answered the phone, they responded to a text message, or they're looking on
Well, let me stop the share real quick, and why don't I just tell you real quick?
Absolutely. So
I don't want to be giving people's contacts away.
All the contact information.
I mean, it's live on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they won't appreciate it.
37 right, 37 leads collected, and how many two-way interactions?
I'll let you know right now. And one thing I've been doing, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, not every day are we going to be making the calls when we put the command task on there, right? Like yesterday, I had a live event happen to me, which we all get it, right? So on command, I put call not made because I wanted to be true to myself, right? Like, what's the point of me creating all this command tasks and then archiving it and not really gauging what really was the true impact of what my actions were, right? Because if I can see a lead where I missed touches that I should have done, then I know that I didn't do my due diligence for that lead, right? Oh my God. Okay. One, more than 10. One, two. Okay, I'm gonna go down. 1, 2.
And if you guys have questions as he counts that, I'd love to see any other questions in the comment box or raise your hand, because I think, and we will go into this
14.
Training. Oh, 14.
14.
14. So 14 two-way conversations. How many appointments have you set so far?
14 is one of actual conversations. Like,
That's
I
awesome.
spoke to someone. There's a couple of other people that have responded to my text messages, but when I follow up, I haven't been able to talk to them.
Okay, awesome.
But out of the 37, I've been able to speak with 14 of them, and appointments have been set, at least 4 to 5 appointments. And by the way, one of them is a listing appointment.
Well, okay, so that's great, because Ralph had asked if these were buyer or seller leads. I'm going to note, you guys, a couple things here, because that you said four, let's say it's 4 appointments, right? So almost 4,000 people saw it, 3,800, right? 3,800 people saw the ad, 499 clicked, 37 actually put in their contact information. So if we were to round it out, we're seeing about, let's say, 4 divided by 37, right? That's you're getting a great, so 10% of them are setting appointments. 10% of them are setting appointments. If one of them converted, just one, right? Average GCI in our area tends to be about 10,000. How many people would trade $30 for $10,000? You're not raising your hand. Right? We got problems, right? And not only that, right? This is what I want you guys to understand is we're talking about the leads that are setting the appointment right now. But what are we also doing? We're also building a database here, right? At least 14 of them answered and had a conversation and are giving permission to stay in contact. The rest of them are on a smart plan. Now you've got 37 additional people added to the database, right? 4 appointments set right now with the potential of more appointments being set later. So almost an appointment for every 9 people, right? About a 10%. We're seeing a little bit more than a 10% conversion, right, on it. That's huge. If one converts, one, that's worth it. But in reality, what do we know to be true is that generally, once we have appointments, we usually see about a 50% to 75% conversion rate, right? We usually see about a 50 to 75% conversion rate. So out of those 4 to 5 appointments, we could realistically expect a minimum of 2 to 3 of them to actually move forward.
Yeah,
That's huge.
and if you guys want to know what video I used for the campaign, go to the messages. I just send the link to everyone.
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's huge. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So I mean, and when Monica told me about this, I wanted to bring value to you guys because I thought, why not? You know, like I was really thinking about, because I've been really thinking about how I can improve my business with the tools we already have as Keller Williams agents, right? I don't want to go and reinvent it. Obviously, there's certain smart people behind this product, right? So I just decided to give it another go. Now, another thing I've been doing is I've been using in campaigns, there's a social post area, okay, a tab right on top. On there, you can actually schedule your social media post. How many of us say, I'm going to be posting every day 2 things a day, and then life happens and we never get around to it, right? In what I've been able to do, I've been able to plan ahead. So let's just say you block out 2 hours, right? And you try to put as many marketing pieces together as you can within those 2 hours, and set them up and see how long it takes you, and see how far it takes you. Maybe it's the first time and it'll only take you 3 days, right? It'll only give you 3 days to use social post. I mean, 9 posts, that's a long time, right? 9 posts, that's a lot of them. But you're going to have 3 for the next 3 days, right? And they come out, like I had one come out at 7 a.m. this morning, and I have another one scheduled to come out today at 6 p.m. And what do I do morning? Because I know all of you guys wake up and look at Facebook. I know I do, right? I mean, and so does everybody else. So I'm going to give them new content when they just woke up, right? And then at 6 p.m., I know people are winding down and they're heading home. So I'm going to give them new content at 6 p.m. again, right? So another thing I'm doing with this campaigns that I haven't gotten with campaigns because I've also experimented with Facebook campaigns, okay? And I've done my own, algorithm and excluded all you realtors, and then I did my research on those campaigns. And honestly, with $30, I've never gotten leads through Facebook algorithm. But with the Keller Williams algorithm, it works. So, I mean, why not do it?
No, I have another question for you, Diego, because I know, I'm sure there's questions that are coming up, and I know some of the questions that I would have if I was doing this for the first time. One, are you doing any specialized interest, or are you just kind of targeting the surrounding area?
So I'm doing 20-mile radius. That's it.
Okay, awesome. So I want to point that out, guys. It's 4 appointments set, and there's not even extra targeting. He's straight using exactly how it is in.
Yeah, I'm not, because I mean, what I want to do is if I start getting too picky on it, then I'm not going to be able to have as much of a blanket in the 20-mile areas I want, right? And I'm sure what I've thought about is that I don't think Gary Keller wants to spend marketing dollars on people we shouldn't be marketing, right? There's a lot. I mean, there's people that are smarter than me that are building this algorithm. So I'm gonna trust them. Right?
Another question that I have for you. can you give us kind of an idea? So I know you posted the video and I posted that in the comments as well. Can you give us an idea of what the text of your campaign says?
Yeah. It's very basic.
All right, is that and I will say you've beat my cost per lead. I ran a $10 ad in I think in for a Huntington Park property, and I was at $1.10 a lead. So you beat me at that 78 cents, and definitely those appointments are stellar.
But did you do a video?
No, it was a photo post.
Right.
Video.
So I think that that's the difference between the video and a image.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. Because you got to remember, Facebook doesn't care about your image, but they're trying to become competitors with YouTube, right? So you got to look at it from the business point of view on Facebook, right? So they're gonna.
Did you upload the video as a native upload, or did you post a link? You uploaded.
No. I did a native upload, which can be tricky because you got to compress it quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you're not like the most tech savvy, if you don't know how to do video editing, simple, and I'm not telling you do like crazy video editing, but you know, be able to take a little bit of video from a home, put it together, maybe put some music, do some audio over it. That I think that's kind of like the technical skills that you're gonna need as a realtor nowadays, right? Before it was like, oh, let's go put up 100 open house signs so we can have this open house, right? Now we're going to be required to have different type of tools in our toolbox as marketers, right? I mean, that's my personal point of view. If you're a starting out agent, obviously once you scale, you can start leveraging like Gary Keller teaches us, right?
And I'm going to tell you guys, because I do videos all day long on my phone, right? And we still get those hits. So don't get overwhelmed by the video component on it, right? Is we've seen that video in general does get higher results, and yet I also have ran straight photo advertisements, and my cost per lead is a little bit higher, but I will trade $100 for $10,000 all day long, just the way I would $30, right? It's still going to be very accessible for you. And we've seen and proven the results. The difference here is he does have a little bit more on the video, but you will get the same type of results, just at a slightly higher cost per lead, right? Mine were $1.10. So
I'm trying to see if I can like.
And just a base is
view it, right? I can see it on my. I can see it on my phone on Facebook, so I'll take a screenshot and I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect. And now we can share. That's amazing. I mean, I will say this, I'm super excited. I'm going to note for those of you guys that are with us, I'm going to give you exactly where you can find some of the resources on this, right? Because right now we're talking about the results, and yet if you're raising your hand and you're like, okay, how do I do this, right? What do I do? A couple things. There are some downloads in the hub that are in the file section with exactly how to run a Facebook ad, right? That I had written up that includes some text options that are in there. It's going to be a little bit of an older file from when we covered this a couple months ago. And then I'll look to see if there's any updates on that. That's going to be number one. Number two, there is the Facebook group Command Your Conversion. The Facebook group Command Your Conversion, which is run by the same guys who run Lab Coat Agents, but it's specific to KW Command. And they have walkthrough videos on exactly how to do this, right? So if you're the type of person that you want to build it, have the video up so you can pause, stop, the next item, right? So that you can go through that next piece on it, and then go from there. Then you can do that within the group as well. And then as well on KW Connect, if you navigate to technology and command your business, there are walkthrough videos and step-by-step instructions for every single part of what command can do. walkthrough videos and instructions for every single thing that Command can do. However, a couple items that need to be set up in advance. One, if you have not talked to our tech concierge, right, you're gonna wanna schedule an appointment directly with Eileen, right, so that we can get a couple things set up. Facebook business page, Twilio phone number, right? And then your website, if you're gonna send anything to your website as well, right? And then your KW mobile app. So a couple things that we just need to make sure that you have natively set up already. And that's where Tech Concierge comes in. So if you have not scheduled or had that appointment yet, you're gonna wanna get that appointment scheduled. That's just straight setup. Once you have those pieces out of the way, then you can go in and run an ad like this, right? You can go in and run an ad like this. So I'm super excited, Diego. I love the results that you've gotten. I appreciate so much you letting us under the hood of your business and showing us exactly what you're doing and the sort of results that you're getting. And I will say this, I cannot wait to see how those appointments go, right? Because this is just the beginning, just that first ad. And now you just infused another $100 in there. So I'm super stoked to see what comes out from there as well. And then I can't wait to see how these appointments are going, right? Because that, I think there's so much opportunity in here, right? There is so much opportunity in here, and it's exciting because it's that new piece, right? It's very new, and yet I will say again, right? In Shift, he's been talking about internet lead gen for a decade. Been a decade, you guys. It's been over a decade since this book was written, and we are finally in a place where we've sort of been thrust into this, right? Into hey, a decade ago, internet lead generation was the shiny new toy, and it was, oh, maybe I'll add this to my business, right? And now we're in a place where this might be the way that we get business in lieu of open houses and door knocking and a lot of the things that we're not able to do right now, right? That we're not able to do right now. And in reality, I don't know about you guys, but I like to save time. Time is money. And if I can set a advertisement up, get some leads in and funnel them through that way, that's gonna save me some time. And especially if I can get the results like this, right? Especially if we can get results like this. So thank you so much for sharing that, Diego. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap up today?
Not really. I mean, just it's not too hard, and I think doing something is better than nothing, right? So even like I didn't, want to get too technical with the video, but I wanted to show you guys the type of content that was giving me the results, right? Obviously you can get different results with different types of content, but just it's also something important to think about, that the quality of content is gonna give you a little bit better return on your money. So if you go out there and maybe spend a little bit of money on a production, if you have that type of business that allows you to do it, it might be a smart idea for you to do something like that. Then also, other than that, it's just the follow-up. I think from this point forward, I just need to follow up on these people and turn them over and turn them into sales, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna unmute Miss Marta. Marta, can you, I think you're not, are you able to come unmute? Marta? Oh, I don't think it's coming on mute, Marta. But no worries. Oh,
I mean,
there we go.
I just want to say something about Diego. Diego did a video for me in one of my listings, and that's the post that I did, and I got 1,661 impression and 13 leads.
That's amazing. That's
From
amazing.
the post that Diego did the video for me.
And I'm gonna note, because one, I love that Marta is actually gonna be joining me on the call next week, and we're gonna be talking and going under the hood of what she's doing to build a huge pipeline of business right now, right? With smart plans, some of the text automation that she's had with her database, and some of the flyers that she's been using from Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. So I'm super excited that we'll be covering that as well next week, Ms. Marta, but thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
That's awesome, you guys. So to wrap up, a couple things. So homework items, right? Because this only works if we take action. We don't want to learn for learning's sake. We want to learn for earning's sake, right? So this only works if we take action. One, if you do not have your technology set up, schedule an appointment with the tech concierge, right? You need to have it set up so that you can actually take action. Otherwise, you're going to be figuring out how to move the bells and whistles, and we just want you ringing it. Right, we just want you ringing it. So set an appointment with the tech concierge so we can get those pieces out of the way. Number two, schedule some time. If this is a lead generation piece that you choose to utilize, then schedule a little bit of time to create your plan of action, right? Are you gonna run one ad? What is the budget that you're gonna set aside for it? And when are you actually gonna sit down and run it? Right, and run it and look at some of those resources that I mentioned, right? And then three, let me know how it goes, right? That way we can help you improve and really just kind of share in your wins and successes, and also share what are some of the things that you can do to maximize your conversion. Because here's the thing, just like when we're doing calls, right? I'll know if somebody's like, I have no business. I want to know, hey, how many appointments did you have? If nothing's converting, we need to know how many appointments you've had. If you've had a ton of appointments and nothing's converting, then we know, hey, it's a qualification problem or it's a presentation and closing problem, right? But if it's, I have no appointments, now we know it might be a lead follow-up or a lead generation problem, right? And so until you actually take action on this, we cannot help you improve on it. Right? We can't help you improve those conversion, those follow-up pieces as well, so that we can maximize those results. So a couple things for our quote of the day as you guys go on this amazing Thursday. Keep going. A bend in the road isn't the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. That's Helen Keller, right? We're making a turn right now. Things are changing a little bit. The road for real estate has bent a little bit. And it's not the end of the road. There's still opportunities so long as we pivot. William Arthur Ward says, the pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The realist adjusts the sails. So I love seeing how some of you are out there adjusting the sails in your business. And I'm gonna go back to the first quote that we started with because I think this is super relevant today. You cannot expect to meet the challenges of today with yesterday's tools and expect to be in business tomorrow. And I am taking a stand for you all to be in business tomorrow, right? You guys make it a great day. Happy Thursday, and we will talk with you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Diego.